Hello, everybody. Hey, it's Ken Faulkner, bringing to you a knife in my collection. And this one's from Medford, MKT, Medford Knife and Tools. This is not one of the more popular ones as far as I know. I'm not an expert on Medford knives. You can see the logo there. You can see the D. That big D means that it's made from D2. I think it's like a CPM D2. Let's see what it says here. Yeah, CPM D2, so it's a little bit better quality. I don't have any problem with it rusting, and I like D2, actually. I think it's a really good steel. But yeah, Medford can be polarizing. For one thing, their knives, and this is not one of the bigger ones. I mean, if I measure the whole length, it's nothing that out of the ordinary of this one. But when you get into the Praetorians and things like that, you're talking about super big, heavy knives. There is some beefiness to this one. The edge length is about 3 1/4, so that's pretty normal. The handle is about total of 4. It's definitely a full-size knife, and you got this huge finger choil up here, so you definitely got room to choke up. Got the sharpening edge out here, which is a little bit different than normal. You used to see it back more towards the ricasso, but you're definitely not going to get a smile on that guy. It's got a hollow grind, pretty nice, but it's not a full. It's not maybe a little bit more than a third of the blade for the height of it. So it's not going to be thin behind the edge. It is going to be beefy. It's going to be able to take some abuse. Definitely not going to have a problem with that. It's got a thick handle, but not totally out of the normal. It's about almost 5/8, whereas maybe 1/2 inch would be more than normal. It's got the big old heavy clip. It works okay. There's a lot of, because it's so thick here, they had to really do that little recess here to allow the bar, the lock bar, to move over. It's obviously a frame lock, but even with all that relief in there, it still takes a bit to push it. Fortunately, they put this little groove here, which is kind of nice part of the design, to kind of give you something so you can kind of get in there. It definitely has a solid sound. So it's a different kind of knife. If you're not used to carrying or collecting these kind of knives, it's definitely different. But I do like them. I've always liked them. They can be very expensive. Those big ones, the Praetorians, and some of the other ones that you've seen. I look at them, I gawk at them at blade shows and things like that. But this one I managed to get used on the secondary from a friend, and so I got a really great deal on it, and that's what made it available to me, even though it's about $650 is what these things are tend to be worth. And like I say, this is not one of the bigger ones, so the bigger ones are going to get up in the thousands and over $1,000. Maybe someday I will get one of those. I don't know. We'll see. But I do like it. It's nice to have a Medford in the collection because it's kind of something I always wanted. Heavy knife, D2 steel. It's definitely gonna hold up. I haven't had problems with it rusting, so that's good. What else can you say about Medford? I mean, very flat type. I mean, they do have them rounded off, so it's not sharp on the edges, but it's definitely not contoured. So it feels like a chunky knife. It feels like you got a big solid tool in your hand, and that's kind of what it is. There was a quick live a couple days ago with Greg Medford and the guy from Spartan Blades, Phobos Blades, and or Phobos Knife. I don't know. I can't remember the name. And also Ernie Emerson from Emerson Knives. They were all in there talking about USA made knives, and man, they really, when they talk about it, just makes you want to go out and just buy USA made knives. But you do have to pay for it, and I do have a decent number of USA made knives, but you know, there's that competition. You know, you got some really good quality knives at cheaper prices that are going to come from China or other places. So yeah, it's just hard to resist that. But these are really a prize when you get a cool knife like this. So this is the Colonial from Medford Knife. It's in CPM D2 blade, titanium handles, very thick titanium, and it is USA made, baby. All right, guys, that's it for this one, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.